Hi everyone, my name is Rowena, and I decided to talk about the Karakoram Highway. This presentation is going to consist of, what is the highway? How did it begin? What were the benefits? Was it worth it? And kind of where are we now with it? So first, what is it? They actually also call this the China-Pakistan Friendship Highway, and I'll kind of explain why further in the presentation. The length of this highway is about 1,300 kilometers, which is around 800 miles, and it's a national highway that goes from Pakistan and crosses into China. It's one of the highest paved roads in the world, and it passes through the Karakoram mountain range, which is obviously where it got its name. So during the build, they actually ended up building it at an elevation of 4,693 meters. And because of the high elevation and where it was built in the mountain range, many people died during its construction due to landslides, for example. Construction actually began in 1959 and was finished in 1979 and finally opened up to the public in 1986. Now, a lot of jobs were opened up during this construction. 25,000 engineers, mechanics, and road builders worked on this, 15,000 Pakistanis, and 9,500 Chinese. And like I said, a lot of people lost their lives during this construction. It looks like, over 1,000 people. And here are just some historical pictures that I thought were pretty cool that I found. So continuing it all, why did it start? Where did it begin? This actually was started by the Pakistan Army engineers in 1959 after they noticed that there was Chinese military activity in Hunza, a northern part of Pakistan, and also after China took a lot of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. At this time, there was a Sino-Indian conflict, which led the Chinese to actually be pushed towards Pakistan, and to lead to Pakistan to become kind of a South Asian regional counterweight to India. Because of the Chinese being pushed towards them, they actually decided on the Sino-Pakistan Agreement in 1963, and this ended up establishing the border between China and Pakistan and really brought them together. And I'll kind of discuss more about the Sino-Pakistan Agreement. Currently, actually, this agreement is controversial. India does not recognize it as legal, seeing as they actually claim sovereignty over part of the land. This agreement, though, was a major shift of the Cold War by bringing Pakistan and China closer together. So what were the benefits of the Karakoram Highway? Obviously, it helped to bring together separate groups of people, the Chinese and the Pakistanis. It cut short the trade route between the two areas by weeks, because they used to actually use a sea route to Pakistan. They used that to kind of get things places, which took a very long time. It also was good and beneficial economically. And I'll kind of refer to Indian rupees because that's what the resources talked about. There was an increase from 280,000 Indian rupees in 1969 to over 3,200,000 in 1978. So obviously a huge increase in the money that was going on during this trade route. Was it really worth it though? It obviously cost a lot of money to build this highway. Looking at the commercial deficits though, they believed that the political strategic significance outweighed the economic problems, the economic cost of building the highway. The Chinese also stated that they would be there to help build and defend Pakistan. So there was a further relationship between China and Pakistan that was very beneficial for Pakistan in the end. Obviously, India wasn't too happy with the highway. They argued that it posed threats for them, kind of the location where it was built. So where are we now with the highway? So in 2011, the Pakistan government approved money for the expansion of the Karakoram Highway. And Nepal actually agreed that the expansion would be helpful to increase economic activity in Nepal and Pakistan. So they're actually willing to increase their bilateral relations with Pakistan. There were fields such as agriculture, energy, environment, science and technology, IT, education, culture, and public diplomacy. So even in the future, with the Karakoram Highway, there were still more benefits that were being offered for Pakistan. Other places, such as this name that I actually cannot pronounce, were in negotiations to establish direct road links through the highway to further improve trade relations. So more places wanted to be a part of this. Also, the Karakoram Highway attracts tourists, even though it's not exactly the safest place to travel, and it wasn't the safest place to build. So that is my discussion of the Karakoram Highway. All in all, it was able to establish a relationship between China and Pakistan and help to improve them economically, and obviously also to help provide them with a partner that was willing to help them out in times of need.